Hello. And I just wanted to share with you guys something that I've been literally responding to people about all day. So it must be in the air, and it must be obviously the thing that I need to share with everyone, because I have literally been answering these emails on a regular basis. Hold on, guys. So I am going live from my actual real Facebook page. I'm going live from my like page, which I never do. And so I'm going to do a little experiment and see if, okay, I'm going to share this. Hold, please. Share now. Bloop. So I just shared it, so we'll see what happens. But in the meantime, make sure you go head over to Facebook and holler at your girl. I'm about to go see Country Wayne. Okay, who follows Country Wayne and is like a fan? I'm a fan, and I cannot wait to laugh my butt off tonight. But in the meantime, let's talk about 3 things that I've been talking about all day with everybody. Like, they just be emailing me, and I'll be like, oh, it's the same thing I keep saying over and over and over and over and over and over and over. So obviously, I need to tell it to you, darling, as well. So thank you for watching. I am Lakeisha Michelle. I am a creator. Listen, I've created a couple things. Successful salon business, a company called Short Hair Bootcamp Live, as well as the CEO Stylist. And one thing that I have found in all 3 ventures, these are different ventures. Like, one was teaching hair online, one is doing hair, and the other is now teaching different types of courses, right? Not to mention the music that I sell. But like, it's a lot happening, right? And the thing about it all is that it's all the same to me. Like, it's one thing. Even though there's 3 different situations, it's one thing. And I think that what's interesting is that I've always wanted to do all of those things. And I always trusted that I would. And anything else that I have written on my board from 10 years ago, I've always trusted that it will happen, and the time will always be right. And so you kind of can release the whole fear of, what if I don't live my purpose out by tomorrow at midnight? Like, people are literally driving themselves insane. You're wearing yourself out. You've got to relax, and you've got to really look at, the fact that everything is always working out for your good. And so the one question I get all the time is that, and actually there's 2 or 3 scenarios that I get all the time in my inbox. It's basically, you've started and you're excited about starting a business, and you're trying to decide, why does Topaz don't want to wash shoes right here? Why? It's 3 sinks and you want to do it right here? Why? ¿Por qué? ¿Por qué, novio?
Water.
Yo no sé. Anyway, so he's distracting me. Like, dude, I can't even focus with the little light water running in the background as if someone is like peeing silently. I can't. So, and YouTube, you guys, the comments are so strange. This morning and now, I can't, let me see the comment. I have to log into YouTube as well. Anyway, so I get these scenarios in my inbox, and the scenarios go like this. You are deciding on what to do. You're excited about running business for yourself. You want to be self-employed, and you are excited about the possibilities. And so you're testing things, right? And so you're trying to figure out what is the thing, right? So you're trying different things, and you have to give yourself permission to do so. I did it. I get it. I know, right? And so you're fired up, and you're trying all these things, and then there's a person that got something to work, and then it's like, okay, it slowed down, but there's a reason for that, and we'll talk about it. And then there's the person that's looking to jump in, and they're just kind of like, I don't even know. Like, I mean, is this even possible? Like, whatever. So these are the types of emails that I get. And the thing about it is this. The 3 things that I've been strong and consistent in everything that I've done that has worked and is working is this. Number 1, you gotta narrow it down first. Now, I don't think that I'm supposed to do one thing. I don't think that you're supposed to do one thing. I definitely think that categories and niches are annoying AF. I am totally with you on that, because you don't want to do one thing. You want to do all the things. But when you're first starting out, it's not that you can't do everything. It's just give something a chance. Like, if you never give anything a chance, then it's just harder to, like, it's just harder. It's harder to validate. And then when you're so excited and you're trying a million things, you're not really sure what's working because your attention is going a million ways. And so I don't think that I need to do one thing for the rest of my life, although I think I can start in one area and trust and know that all the other areas will be there and will be fine and I'll be amazing. Who trusts and knows that? If you do, put that in the comments right now. Who is deciding to trust and know that? Put that in the comments right now. Now, for example, I knew that my go-to thing, that the thing that I know how to do is doing hair, makeup, that kind of thing. I'm a cosmetologist. That's my background. Now, I also knew that that was not my end, but it definitely was going to be my investor. It was going to be my beginning, and it definitely was my backbone. So from tip number 1, which is narrow it down so that you can then expand, like, you've got to be okay with narrowing down whatever it is that you're trying to do. And listen, you don't lose the other things. And here's the thing. Here's the deal. You can give yourself a time frame. So like if you're panicking about all the things that you're going to miss out on, if you decide to narrow it down, then just give yourself a time frame. And what time frame will you give yourself to try this thing? So for example, as I was a hairdresser, first of all, I started out here completely dead broke. Okay, let's be clear. I was coming out of an abusive relationship. I was in the negative going into beauty school. Broke all outdoors, depressed, didn't even know it. You know what I'm saying? Flying through life, but not really present because I was literally just in trauma. I didn't even understand that there was a certain thing called post-traumatic stress. Yeah, I ain't know nothing about that because you know where I'm from, they don't do that kind of stuff. They don't talk like that. So it's just not a thing. And so I didn't even know that was happening. Meanwhile, I'm trying to go into, hey Tracy, I'm trying to go into business and be self-employed. And it's just like, who knew? And actually, I didn't think I was going to be self-employed. I just knew that I could do hair. So at that point in my life, it was like, I need to do something because I'm a little poor. So hair made sense. Now, I knew that I needed to pick my lane in hair because if I tried to be all of the things, which I did in beauty school, I gave myself permission to be all of the things. And then I realized very quickly that other things stressed me out. Like I was trying to do all these different types of hairstyles and techniques. And it was stressing me out because in hair, it's not just hairstylists. You can do long hair only, short hair. You can do highlights. You can do permanent perms. You can do relaxers. 2 different things, people. You know, all my little professionals out there who know the difference. There's just so many things you can do. Shortcuts, right? There's just so many weaves and like men's hair cutting. There's a million options. And so it's like a lot of choices. And so what I realized is that when I was trying to do everything, I didn't get any traction. But then when I decided to specialize and give each thing an attention time frame, so I decided to give weave a certain time frame. Boom, I only focused on weave. I was totally okay with the fact that I didn't know if this was the thing. Come on, somebody. I was totally okay. I gave myself permission to be normal and actually look at this thing and decide if it's what I'm super, super passionate about. And then I went, okay. I took a lot of classes. I stayed up all night watching videos. I practiced on everybody named Mama, and I got the skill down. And then I was like, okay, I'm good at this, but it doesn't give me that feeling, right? And so I got a little time in beauty school, so I'm on to the next thing. So then the next thing comes, and I'm like, oh my God, like I love this thing. So then I'm like, okay, I'm gonna be working on highlights. Okay, perfect. So I'm gonna do highlights. I start highlighting up all my mannequins, trying to throw color on everybody to come in. And I was like, you know what? I'm a left brain person. This right here is stressing me out. Too much math involved. And I was like, burp, no. Not that I don't know how to do color. I just definitely didn't want to just focus on it because I was bored. Boom. Okay. Then I just started. Now, meanwhile, I was learning to focus. But I was still showing up every day doing whatever was required of me for the day for my work. So, i.e., if you have a day job, i.e., if you still got an Uber, you know, to invest money into your dreams, i.e., all that other stuff. So, you guys get what I'm saying? Like, then I realized that after I graduated, I loved short hair. I actually started realizing it while I was in school, but I just didn't understand the cutting because I think it's just the left brain thing. I'm in left, like, things are a little flipped around in your mind. So, I practiced short hair. All while doing weaves and regular hair, I was still practicing short hair. I was doing it all around my free time. All my free time went to that thing because I can feel it. Like I just kept feeling like I was almost there. And then a year later, I actually was so comfortable with short hair. And it was just a thing that I'm like, oh, I love it. I still was scared to let go of my other clients. And then things grew. But what happened was once things started growing, I validated that there was a need for like 3 things that I was really good at because I gave myself time to focus on each one. And I still was a human, so I still got to work, right? Because we try to just shut it all down and do one thing. Well, the reality is you still have to make money. So I was still doing all the other hairstyles that I knew how to do. And then all of a sudden I was just like popping. Like I had a lot of customers because I kept showing up. Even though I was spending my free time practicing that one thing, I showed up to work and I did the other things. And so, yeah, it's a little stressful. To act like you're supposed to just start a business and just be happy, go perfect, lucky, I think that's just extremely strange because you're human and you have emotions. And in business, you have to know how to deal with rejection. You have to know how to deal with different personalities. You have to know how to deal with a lot. Okay, so number 1 is narrow it down first. It doesn't mean you don't have to do the other things, but narrowing down actually helps you. Number 2, decide. So you have to choose something. So now that you've narrowed it down, you choose. So when I got so busy, I had to choose. Like I had to go, okay, wait, it's too many people in here. This is amazing. I'm making so much money now. Oh my God, money's not an issue. Like I'm working. She's booked. Like I'm just like, oh my God, now it's stressful because this is a good problem to have. And it's kind of like the second phase of a business. Like you're kind of like everywhere, you're trying to figure it out in your business. And then you figure out, okay, I'm working, you're making sales. And now you're in phase 2 where you're just kind of like, you're like, okay, so I got to the second phase, I'm selling, but this is a little chaotic. So how do I fix this? Now I can choose because I've spent so much time validating that there's a need for the thing that I want to do. So there has to be a need for what you want to do. And then you can choose. To be choosing all these things like it's your lifelong decision and you don't even know if it's a need is actually going to stress you out because you're so tied to the thing that you think is the thing that you miss what is the thing because you're stuck and you chose the wrong thing because you didn't validate the thing. Does this make sense? Let me know in the comments if this makes sense. Okay, so once you've narrowed it down and you've actually been testing things, give yourself permission to test. Remember, with the time frame so that you don't feel like you're just wasting your life away. Okay? Give yourself permission to test. Then when you test it out, you are going to choose. You finally say, okay, I've played enough. I see this works. I see that works. Where do I want to focus on that has been validated? Do not choose something that has not been validated. I need to find another word for validation because I feel like when I say this to people, they don't understand. Validate. Okay. Thesaurus. Okay. So this is what I like to do. I like to find other words so that you can get the complete picture, honey. Okay, so acceptance. It's been affirmed. It's been proof. There we go. Proof. That's a good word. Proof. I like little words. I like big words, but when I'm talking, I like to speak real simple. So it says green light, stamp of approval, verified, affirmed, accepting, passing. There's evidence. Oh, I love it. So you want your business that you choose to be the thing. There needs to be evidence that people want the thing. Or you're going to be that person who's always talking about the thing that nobody wants. And it's cute and we like your pictures and posts, but nothing's selling because nobody wants that. You need to solve a problem, in other words. So you have to choose an industry that is you got to solve a problem. If you're not solving, hey guys, hey Matiana, hey Denisha. So if you're not I need to iron. This is a problem. I don't like ironing. This is a problem that I would literally, if there was some type of machine that you just put your stuff there and it just, poof, like that's a thing. But like really, you want to solve a problem, guys. It's very cute to say you're in business, but it's not cute when you're in business and you ain't got no sales because that's not a business. A business makes sales. Let's look up the definition of business just so you can see that I'm not throwing shade. Business definition. Let's look at what the factors of a business is. A person's regular occupation, profession, or trade. All right? It's your work. It's your occupation. It's a career. It's employment. It's a job position. Typically, when you're self-employed, you done created a job for yourself. I had to learn it the hard way. So It says the practice of making one's living by engaging in commerce. So here's the deal. You must be engaged in some coinage exchange, okay? You know what a coinage exchange is? That's a money exchange. Must be engaged in some money exchange. Boom, that's a business. So if your business is not making coins, you got to get it making coins. And so the real thing you want to look at is like, is this a thing that people actually want? I know that I'm excited about it. I love that. I love myself for being excited about this. I love myself for wanting to help people in this arena, but I love myself even more for finding out if people actually want this. And I love myself for finding proof by getting coins. You have to collect. So when I said I want to do hair, it's like I already knew that that was going to work. Even before I knew, I just knew because people was already paying me at my crib. When I said I want to start short hair boot camp, I already knew that it was validated, that there was proof and evidence that it would work, is because I already seen a bunch of people doing classes, and I've been to classes that I paid $500 some for per class. And I realized that there is a market, a heavy market for this thing, and it ain't going nowhere. Boom. So when I started the CEO Stylist, I have literally pages of proof, and I asked people what they were needing, and then I created it. So I validated, and then I narrowed it down. People ask me for a lot of stuff, but I narrowed it down. And I am always narrowing it down because, I mean, why do I want to spend my time on things that nobody wants? It just doesn't make any sense. I can go get a job for that. You don't want the headache. You don't want the stress. And so the way you don't have those things is if you understand. So the 3 things are: narrow it down. And listen, you can do a lot. I'm not a person that believes that, whatever. Like, I don't like being stuck in a niche, but definitely I believe you should use your niche in order to gain a skill of business. And then, it'll turn into whatever it's supposed to turn into. So that's how I took myself from a beauty business behind the chair to an online business. Okay. Go get that cash. So, and then to this company now. So that is the lesson. 3 things: narrow it down, choose, and then validate. You have to validate. You have to validate. You have to validate. You have to validate. Validation. Remember, our thesaurus told us that the other words for validation are things like prove. So you need proof that people want, not because you just think they want it. Oh my gosh, so many people message me and they're like, I think people want this. And I just go, what are you talking about? You need to validate with real coins. So if you think that somebody wants your idea, then you definitely want to super prove it by super getting them to pay for it. So for example, when I started my mobile app company, I had a lot of different stuff, y'all. I'm telling y'all, like, if I could list all the things that I thought I wanted to do, what I did was I narrowed it down every time. So when I was doing mobile apps, that's all I was doing. I was doing hair, my day job. I kept my day job, and then I was selling mobile apps. And I sold enough. And here's the thing. People wanted them, but they didn't want it bad enough. And I don't want to sell something that people don't want bad enough, because that's annoying. Hello, somebody. Somebody need to hear that right there. I don't want to sell nothing that people don't want bad enough, because for me, it was like, no thanks. I'm not interested enough. And that just was the truth. The truth is, are you really interested in what you're talking about? Or are you infatuated with the lifestyle that is promised because of the thing? So that's a thing too. Sometimes people are infatuated with like the lifestyle. And so you want that lifestyle, but there are other ways to get it. You don't have, some people don't need to be in entrepreneurship. Like, I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, you have to know thyself. That is the first rule. Know yourself, know yourself, know yourself. Hello, Sehar. So here's the deal. You have to narrow it down. Give yourself permission to have a good time and explore. That's what narrowing it down means to me. Like, I'm gonna give myself permission to try this thing that I'm feeling in my heart. And if it doesn't work, it's okay. But now I know that it's not the thing. So I can go back to my big list of dreams and keep going. How did you learn how to create mobile apps? I literally just Googled it. So I can't remember what made me want to. Well, first of all, I'm a techie. So I like developing things. I'm a creator. Like, honestly, like, I love figuring out how things work. I could have probably been an engineer or something. I love developing things. And so I was super excited about it, the mobile app industry. And I love reading industry books because it just helps be expansive. And I believe that everything you read is for a purpose. And so I love consuming things across different industries that are not even my own, because I believe that it also makes me just a stronger businesswoman. So I was obsessed with the industry of tech. I am already still. And I was like, I really want to develop a mobile app. And so when I just started Googling it, I was like, how are these things even work? Just curious. And so I started looking it up, and then I realized I can get my license, and I realized there were so many classes about it. And so I literally, it took me like 6 months. I was not sleeping. I would just stay up. I was obsessed. I was so hungry for it. And I loved it. I loved the chase. And so I just was testing apps. I started, and it's actually not that hard. And I have to say that I did go to school when I was in, what was that? What grade was that? I can't remember what school it is. But we took computer classes, and so we had to build websites from scratch. So that's definitely where I learned kind of like that part. I mean, we had to like literally come up with a concept, and then create from typing in letters that made a website actually appear. So I guess everything happens in your life for a reason, because I just forgot about that until now. So anyway, I decided that I was going to learn it, and I just stayed up all night until I did, and I started developing apps, and then I realized that after I got my license and I made an app, it was really cool. It was really cool. And then I realized that there were shortcuts, and so I learned the shortcuts, and then I started realizing that how powerful apps are, and how, apps allow your messages to go straight to people's phones, so they don't have to log in to email and whatever. You can send them messages like a text message. So I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. And so I just decided that people needed them, and that every salon should have it, and that, all small businesses needed it. And so then I was like, you know what? I'm going to give this to these people because they need it. And so then I started making for other people, and everybody loved it. I just got like I didn't want to manage it. It was like, oh God, I don't want to deal with it. Never mind. So it was just fun for me. It was a hobby that I thought should be a business. And actually, I wasn't I would start a mobile app company now, because then I can just hire people and oversee and have more vision type things, and they do the things. But back then I wasn't there yet. So yeah, that's how I got into that. But I just learned. And so the thing is that I validated it, and I didn't go all in until people started buying it. When somebody gave me $1,000, I was like, oh, okay, let me see if I can do it again. Boom, did it again. Boom, did it again. So now I have actual people using the product. I have actual data. So now I can say, do I want to do this or do I not want to do this? I wouldn't know any of those things if I hadn't have gotten crazy obsessed with making it happen and bringing my dreams to life. And so I still wanted to do other things in that moment. I wanted to do apps, websites, all things tech. I was all things tech. And so I gave myself permission to choose that one thing and work on it, choose another thing and work on it. What's up, Chef Anthony? And it took me time. I narrowed it down. I didn't forget my other things that I want to do. I will never forget all the things I want to do, because it's who I am. It's what I really want to do. And if you forget, that means it was probably something you just got excited about for the moment, and it's okay. But just always trust and know that everything that you want to do is fine. You can own it. You can hold the space for it, and you still can narrow it down and try something. We spend so much time assessing things and wondering, and then we start looking for proof that it's working for other people. Then you fall down that rabbit hole where you're looking at how it's working for other people, and then you're just going on and on about, see, I know this will work for me. And instead of talking to real people, you look at what other people are doing. So then you start doing all of these things, and you don't even have real life proof that somebody in your circle, that somebody that you walked up to and convinced to buy is gonna buy. Because that's what matters. It doesn't matter that I tell you that mobile apps are the bomb. What matters, or that somebody tells me, what mattered was that I go and validate, do people really want this mobile app thing? And businesses did want it. But then I learned about myself. I was like, nah, I don't really want to do this. I don't want to be a designer. I love it, but not for other people. It's just the thing that I like to do. So, okay, so everything I do doesn't have to be monetized. Boom! So it's just use my 401k to get me rolling. Oh, wait, we did that in 10th, 11th grade. I left it for... I have 20 years experience, background in IT management. Oh, I love that. How did you learn how to... That's so... Say, how are you just full of surprises? I love it. Yeah, so I have a friend who's in the trucking. My dad's friend is in the trucking business too. So trucking business is lucrative. I listen to the conversation because I like to know about what the processes are. How they have to go weigh all the trucks and do all the different stuff. So I was like, it was very interesting to learn about and what it takes to own your own truck and to get those contracts and blah, blah, blah. So definitely... heard about it. I don't know in depth about it, but I definitely have an idea of what you do in the trucking industry. The moral of the story is this, people. You have to give yourself time to validate, to choose and to validate. Narrow it down, choose it, and validate. And then don't spend all day. If you're done, you're done. Move on. Like, you don't have to be, this is not your life that you're signing away in blood. Like, please stop with this pressure that you're putting yourself, all stressed out. And then don't go do a bunch of stuff that you haven't even had proof that somebody wants it. Like, if you build the whole thing before validating that somebody wants it, that's a no. And validating means, like, you could start a small group and have people go ahead and, like, pay you, charge you, like, you could charge people, say you want to have something that costs $9.97, right? Or let's just start small, $97. Well, if you can get 10 people to give you $10 for this thing, then it's probably a thing. But first, put them in the thing, listen to what they say about the thing, listen to what they say can be improved about the thing, and then decide if you're going to go forth with the thing. Okay. So, guys, do you understand? Does this make sense? Let me know in the comments if this makes sense to you. Yes, but it eats up your life. What? Being in the trucking business? So, let me go here and make sure that I'm not missing comments because I feel like I am. So, oh, yep, I see it. So, Tracy, Sam helped me currently in school trying to find my niche. I love it. I love it. So, give yourself permission to try different things. Sam says that's smart. It's beauty store worth the investment. Here's the thing. I think the thing that people misconceive I don't know. They misunderstand about business in general. For example, I'm having a product developed and it's like, they were very clear, like, we're not going to sell this for you. Why? And I was laughing because they kept saying that over and over. And I was like, I don't need you to sell this for me. I need you to make this for me. And they were like, oh, thank God. Because people start making them think people buy things and get things made and they think that, it's just going to sell because it's like an amazing thing. Like, no, you have to sell it. And so the same thing with beauty supplies, you have to sell that stuff. And so most people buy a bunch of products before they validate anything. And then they're like, oh, I got a beauty supply store. It's like, duh, it's a beauty supply store, so it should work. It's like, no, you still have to have a plan. You still have to have an angle. You still have to know how to target people. You still have to be a super networker. Like, you should be in the hood every weekend, passing out flyers, talking to people on the radio, put the sign up, have a grand opening for 2 years. Like, you got to go hard or go home. And when you have finally given it everything or when you see that your gut says, girl. Now, also a thing to note is that a lot of times people say no, that a lot of times people say, well, no, I don't want to work that hard. And what am I trying to say? So sometimes I see people say, oh, that ain't for me. And it wasn't for you because that's what I was trying to say, because you didn't want to work that hard. And that's okay. Like, some people just prefer to know where their check is coming from. So in business, when you're starting up, you are everything. You're IT, you're answering the phones, you answer emails, you're doing all these, and you got to sell, and you got to market, and you got to be the person who creates the product. So your time is like massive because you have all these different categories and you've got to manage that. And so a lot of times people just burn out because it's like, holy crap. And a beauty supply requires you to invest in products. So another thing is, like, people buy products and then they get emotional because they spent their money on it. So then it's like, this must work or else. And it's like, it only must work because you spent your money on it. So it's just know thyself. Know thyself. This is the first rule of, I think, the Bible. I don't know. I just think somewhere. Don't quote me on that because I'm not sure. But I know that's a rule from somewhere. Know thyself. Know thyself. I need to talk with a microphone because my voice is sounding. Okay, so back to what I was saying. That's me, Linda, all over the place. Don't be all over the place. It's okay if you are. The whole thing is that when you recognize that you are all over the place and you just bring yourself back to the place, then things will be fine. And so basically just ask yourself, if I were in complete alignment with what my heart and my soul wants, what would I be doing right now? What is going to bring me, like, what is that thing that people want? Now, remember, people want it because they've paid you for it. They're asking you for it. Like, not these free, let me have a conversation with you people, because most times those people are not going to pay for nothing. So you have to be willing to be out there and talk to people and say, hey, I'm thinking of starting this newsletter. Do you want to join? Hey, I'm thinking of starting this product. Do you want to join? Hey, I'm thinking of fill in the blank. Thank you, Dieter. Makes perfect sense. Is it any way I can have a short private conversation with you? Go to LakeishaMichelle.com and send me a message. Sure. So here's the deal. You must narrow. You must choose. And I had to say the word must because it sounds so official. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you want to narrow it down, choose something, and give it all you got, and then decide quickly. It's a heck no or a heck yes. That is all. Take your emotions out of business. Business is not nothing but numbers, honey. So numbers, numbers, numbers. Numbers don't lie. If you got 10 people that can give you $10 a month for something, then yeah, it's validated. And they want to do it consistently, that's validated. If you, I mean, that's pretty much it. It's just narrow down, choose, validate, which means proof. I have my little notes here so I don't get so ADD, because if you follow me, you know that I get extremely ADD. So that's all. That is all. Act like a success and think like a success in order to become the best. Sing it, y'all. Act like a success and think like a success in order to become the best. Listen, so acting like and thinking like a success means that you do what successful people do, and they validate their business. You have to be solving a problem. If you agree to be solving a problem, like a real problem, like not a problem that you think, but a real problem. So what's easier, being a stylist or opening a store? So I've never owned a actual beauty supply. I sold beauty supply products at my station. And I'm the only reason I talk about beauty supplies because I'm a salesman. So I can sell anything, right? And I'm in the beauty industry. So my frustrations, there's a need and there's a frustration as a hairdresser, especially a Black hairdresser. Let me just be specific, for what's happening in the beauty industry. The Black dollars are like the biggest part, right? And you have all these shops who are selling the wrong stuff, and people are buying this stuff thinking they're going to get transformation in their life when it comes to their beauty needs. So my point is, there's definitely a need and a market, and it will be difficult because the market is Asian owned, but it's not impossible. And I just want to see more people who have the stick-to-itiveness, because it's going to require you to be a seller and a marketer. It's going to require you to literally, it's going to require a heavy lift. So there's a need there. You have so many people. If you're so specific, if you said, I'm going to sell products from if this company right here actually has set up shop in different areas, and I'm talking small shops. See, people always think they got to start some big thing. If you just get one product line, you're considered a beauty supplier. Like, you're supplying beauty stuff. And then in the meantime, add in some stuff that you can buy wholesale, like gloves and combs and things that you can buy. You can buy all this stuff wholesale. So now you have beauty products, you have a product line, and you have a store. And so you could literally move these products. If I work for this company, I would move this product all day long. And I'm a beauty supplier because I'm supplying beauty things, right? And all I would do is do education and then show people the results they get with the products. And that will get transformation. That will get people that are indebted to what you're doing because they see change and growth in themselves, and that will work. It's business. So what I'm obsessed with at the core is, besides God and personal development, is business. I love business. And so I'm a tester and a validator. And that's why what I touch works, period. Because I understand those concepts. So while I may be a little entertaining to some and a little ranty and crazy to others, the matter of fact is, narrow it down, choose, and validate. These things have helped all three opportunities that I've been blessed to have turn into six figures. And so I'm just trying to tell y'all that it ain't hard to do. It's really the same thing, different book. Give me a business model. Let's talk about it. I study business models, and I study all of this stuff because I aspire to be a super, super multi-millionaire, billionaire person, right? Millionaires first. So I just try to stick with my current goal. And you have to know these things. And so I'm just trying to tell you guys all the things that I learned the long way. And it's not sexy because it just tells you have to choose. And most people don't like choosing. But choosing makes you pop off. So my name is Lakeisha Michelle. Thank you guys for watching. If you want to join my mastermind where we talk about these things, your business model and getting clients and keeping clients. If you want to join my mastermind, go to LakeishaMichelle.com and send me an email. If you scroll to the bottom of my website, you will see the thing where it says send a message. That's the only way you can get in. The link is not public, so you will not see it unless you are hungry for it and you ask for it. The end. And so, on that note, my friends, I'm going to go see Country Wayne, and I'm going to go have a steak, and I shall see you guys later. All right? I will talk to you guys soon. Remember, the website link is LakeishaMichelle.com, and all you have to do is send me an email for more details on my private mastermind where we talk about all of these things and then some. I love you. I will see you later. Ciao for now. So the business model works across all platforms. Yes. Hi, Nicole. I'm going to call you. You have a business, not a volunteer service. I know that's right, Auntie. Don't forget my package. Oh, ooh, it's right here. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, I just dropped it. But I got it, Auntie. Okay. Love you guys. I shall see you later because I'm about to get in the car. Any questions, hit me up at LakeishaMichelle.com.